Oh, okay, perfect.
Because I'm always making some comment. I am. I'm always making some
And
comment.
Dr. Rankin's um, message announcement. Who's doing it? Did she have
I
one?
don't know.
You can.
All right. So sorry.
Oh shoot! I did not bring my computer.
Yeah, bring two of those.
That's what I meant to get an update on. Jessica Jones. Yeah, I forgot all about that.
No, I
Yeah.
got the opening right here.
Excuse me.
Okay, I think we're ready. Good evening. I would like to call the Peoria Public Schools Board of Education meeting for September 12th to order. Madam Secretary, will you please call the roll?
Mrs. Costick? Mr. Kloss?
Here.
Mrs. McConnell?
Here.
Mr. Murphy?
Here.
Dr. Ranking? Mr. Wilson? President Ross?
Here.
We have 6 present.
Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with justice for all. Thank you. I would like to recognize the two schools boards on the back of me here. Hines is very buzzy, being awesome. And Annie Jo Gordon, watch us soar. Beautifully done. Thank you. Okay, so announcements. Would you start, Mr.?
Yes, thank you, President Ross. Don't miss the Special Education Parent University this Thursday, September 15th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. at Jameson School. Parents and guardians will enjoy dinner and special guest speaker Megan Mutty from Family Matters. Email Michelle Minders at michelle.minders@psd150.org by September 13th to RSVP.
Okay, thank you.
Fall intercession registration. Registration is open for fall intercession on October 10th to 14th. All students can take advantage of the optional opportunity for enrichment. Use the link tinyurl.com/fall PPS or head to the quick link on the front page of the district website to register.
Ms. McConnell.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ross. Peoria High School, Interact, and their Key Club are hosting a Take Back Night Wednesday, September 14th from 5 p.m. to 8. It will happen on the Peoria High School practice football field. Come out and enjoy local vendors, food trucks, face paint, bouncy houses, games, and so much more. Wednesday, September 14th, 5 to 8 at Peoria High.
Thank you, Ms. Costa.
Good evening. Virtual Town Hall Series. The next virtual town hall is on Wednesday, September the 14th at 7 o'clock p.m. Parents and guardians of Sterling, C.T. Vivian, Dr. Maud Sanders, Franklin, and Jameson students are welcome for a question and answer session with Superintendent Dr. Karat and other school leaders. Use the link tinyurl.com/townhall150 to join. Thank you.
Thank you. Would you introduce yourself first?
Hi, I'm Zariah Franklin. I'm from Richwoods High School, and I'm the student board member. One of three, sorry. Okay. Use the student game day checklist to make sure you're ready to support our amazing sports teams. As a reminder, no backpacks or bags. High school students must have their school ID. Primary and middle schoolers must be with an adult at all times. Entry will be through the north gate. Students must meet their school eligibility standards to attend, and no student entry after halftime.
We have another
Okay.
one.
High schoolers, take advantage of the free Future Teachers program at ISU October 21st. Interested future teachers will have the opportunity to learn about ISU's education program, take a campus tour, and get some great insight from current ISU students.
Physicals and immunization reminder. Reminder parents and guardians, students must fulfill their state-required physical and immunization requirements as soon as possible. Make an appointment with your healthcare provider or take advantage of the Unity Point in-school clinics at Manual High School, Peoria High School, and Treewind School.
Thank you. Parent University Kickoff. Parent University will host their first meeting on September 22nd at ICC North in the auditorium. 2 parents or guardians have been invited from each school to explore different opportunities. Thank you. It's awards and recognitions. Dr. Karat, is this, would you like to do that? It's this Dr. Nicole Wood and Kaylee Arnold. Are you, okay, great. Remarkable Spirit Award.
All right, good evening, President Ross, Superintendent Dr. Karat, members of the board. Thank you so much for giving us an opportunity tonight to share about 2 remarkable women that we have who are actually volunteering their time at Maud Sanders every single day. To tell you a little bit more about these special women, I want to also introduce you to our new principal at Dr. Maud A. Sanders, and that is Mrs. Kaylee Arnold. So we'll let her tell you a little bit more.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Dr. Wood, thank you so much. My name is Kaylee Arnold. Good evening, Board President Ross, Superintendent Dr. Karat, and members of the board. Tonight, I am honored to present the Remarkable Spirit Award to Fran Tinkham and Joyce Glaw. So I wanted to share a little bit about these 2 amazing volunteers at Maud Sanders. Fran and Joyce volunteer their time at Maud almost every day in ways that help support our parents, students, teachers, and administrators. Their optimism, enthusiasm, and kindness guides us through the most challenging of days. They both help run the community garden at Maud Sanders, which started out as a summer school project and has transformed into a STEM learning space where students love to grow food and chase butterflies. Joyce has thoughtfully shopped and prepared items for students to purchase with their Badger Bucks every Friday. She also helps keep our school looking wonderful and organized. When I met her over the summer, she was hard at work cleaning out curriculum closets and setting up bags of math materials for students to take home for practice. Fran never hesitates to jump in if a teacher is absent or needs a break. She helps us all put things in perspective and shares inspiring stories of when she was a teacher. She intentionally connects with students and makes sure they feel safe and loved every single day. Now, I've only known them for a short time, so I kind of wanted to hear what the teachers had to say about Fran and Joyce because they've been around for years and have shown us so much love in a long amount of time. So I hope you appreciate these words from the teachers. Joyce and Fran are the most giving people I have ever met. Maud Sanders could not survive without them. They go above and beyond every single day. They not only care about the students, they care about the staff as well. I can't count how many times I've had a surprise lunch on my desk from a friend. They make coming into work so much better, and we love them both more than they know. Thank you. Thank you.
And I always gave Dr. Karat at Roosevelt every morning, can you remember? What? The bananas. And that was to keep her energy going. And now I'm seeing bananas and apples with this.
Mrs. Tinkham, I
Yes.
have to agree with the teachers. Teachers, everything you've said about her, and I was actually going to interject. I started working with her when I first moved into the district in 1998. She was at Roosevelt. We hit it off, and we have been friends ever since. And I've seen her at Maud, just running in and out, but never realized that she actually volunteered. And then, of course, she pulled in her sister, and that's her. But everything that the teachers said about her, her principal said about her, it is true. She loves the children. It doesn't matter their circumstances, their situation, their behavior. She gets along with them, and she shows them a lot of love. And Miss Joyce, I only gotten to meet you recently, so I've known Miss Tinkham, but if you're related to her, I know you're just as good as she is. And it's just really amazing. They're volunteering for all these years. Maybe we can have one of the teachers make some comments as well, because, and then Miss Arnold, our new principal, she's really doing a nice job. She has a tough job and to turn things around and clean things around. Introduce your administrators as well when you get a chance. But we'll have Miss Joyce say some words. And I did eat from the garden too. I had some tomatoes, I had some peas, I had some, what else, Miss Tinkham?
Well, you took some mint.
To make some tea, right? It's awesome. Thank you.
Almost 12 years ago, when I faced retirement, my sister called me and said, Mom and Dad can't put up with you every day. So I've got a job for you. Come to school and copy for the teachers. Grade papers, do whatever you can. We'd gladly appreciate you. So it started out being 1 day a week because I committed 2 days to Mom and Dad. And this last year, it's been every day. And I appreciate the staff here. I appreciate the staff in the past. I've gone through in 12 years 5 principals. But I'm coming back every day because there's still a lot to do. So thank you all. Thank you guys for coming. It means a lot.
Will all the teachers stand? Do you have any family here with you?
No.
Okay. Other teachers from Mart, teachers from Mart stand?
The administrators are with her as well.
The administrators? All right, thank you. Oh.
Yeah. And Ms. Arnold, do you quickly want to introduce your new Yes. You have a new assistant principal. Let's take advantage of the opportunity. Oh.
We don't have any good cameras. So I thought that was her phone.
So Kathy Wiggers is a retired principal who's been helping us out in an assistant principal role this year. And Sonia Culbertson is the assistant principal at Maude Sanders.
Thank you all. Give them a minute to go out. Well, it looks like they're not ready to leave. Okay. We'll just wait on that. Yeah. Okay, presentations by audience. Does anybody have anything? Okay, I thought somebody said something. Any individual may address the Board of Education at this time for no more than 5 minutes, with further time allotted would have to be approved by the board at the discretion of the chair and the board. Time allotted on any one subject, again, is 5 minutes. On any one subject is 20 minutes for anyone to speak on any one subject, but it's 5 minutes per person. Please keep your responses respectful. First meeting person is Mr. Charlie Thomas.
Good evening. I would like to start out with saying I'm going to be reading stuff, which I normally don't do. I usually just say it, but it's typed up. So here we go. Comes from a lot of different people. You always say at the beginning of the audience, at the beginning of how the audience should conduct themselves, well, shouldn't that go for the board while the audience members are speaking? There has been some incidents. You can go back and check the tape. At this time, I would recommend that Martha Ross and Greg Wilson resign their posts as part of this school board for obvious ethical reasons. I was shocked and horrified after this district says they put safety first, and to find out that elite and game changer employees do not have to get background checks through the district like every other district employee. According to Section 21.9 of the Illinois School Code, 21.9, background checks are required of all employees of firms holding contracts with the school district, which in case is definitely game changers, and I'm not even sure what elite is yet, and any persons who have direct daily contact with the pupils of any school in such district. Now, I have people in both of those programs, and this isn't the appropriate time, and I will when I visit the state soon, but there's people telling me this stuff. I know as a retired teacher, when I first taught, I had to get a background check, and then when I retired and got rehired for Glen Oak, I had to get another background check, which is, I'd been retired 4 months, and I still had to get another one, which makes absolutely no sense. Speaking of retired teachers, if you want to take care of the lack of subs, I have an idea. This has been brought up to me by other retired teachers. Pay your retired district teachers the appropriate amount for their education and their experience. So basically what they're saying is, why would they get paid the same of a sub that's really never been in teaching? You've got I'm one of those. I get called, today I think I had 38 calls to sub, and I would, if it paid more. I would, because discipline is so bad right now. I don't know if I want to go put myself through that, because I was a very discipline-oriented teacher, and it makes it tough. A sub who has never taught should not be getting paid the same as a retired teacher who put in 30 years plus in your district, which I did, and several teachers that would sub if they were paid appropriately. What do you want in your classroom? Someone that really has no idea what teaching's about, or someone that did it 35 years? In the district handbook, it is filled with a lot of, I just read it, you could be this, or you could be that, if we want to. You need to replace with you will be. this. You will be suspended for that. Why does it say you could be? Because that's leaving an out. You know, we have a student affairs person that I don't think is, I don't know what she does. I mean, this is feedback from teachers and principals that they seem their hands are tied. They can't do what they want to do. Now, who knows? I mean, I'm not there every day, but when so many people keep saying this, it's like you're afraid to discipline. By not disciplining, you are setting kids up to fail. Stop blaming teachers and hold kids accountable, because one day in life, they're going to be accountable. Shout out to all teachers going through the negotiation process. Hopefully, District 150 will wake up and realize that they have the best teachers in the state and try to hang on to them. If you don't, someone else will scoop them up. Shout out to the 9 Lounge nightclub. The 9 Lounge nightclub for having expectations and sticking to them. I just absolutely love this. And by the way, I drank Miller Lite, so maybe this earns me a free drink down there. Final shout out to Peoria High football. They're doing what they do, win, and it's incredible. But if you get a chance, stop by the 9 Lounge nightclub and read what's on the front of that door. I wish we had that on the front of our school doors. Thank you.
Thank you. Caitlin Hale. Next, Caitlin Hale.
Can we?
Hi, I'll start in just a second.
Excuse me.
Excuse me, sir. My turn, thank you. I'm sorry. Hi, my name's Caitlin Hale. I'm back. I was here about 3 weeks ago discussing some of the safety concerns that I had at my school building, and I feel like a lot of those were dismissed. That was very disheartening, because it feels like my experience, along with the experience of our teachers here, has been discredited. That may not have been your intention, but that is certainly what it feels like. We're very grateful to start with the celebration of Fran and Joyce, because they are amazing. Yes, that for them. And honestly, everything else that I'm going to say, unfortunately, is not as happy as that. This is nothing against our administration. Our building is a hot spot. There is so much happening there every day to where students and teachers do not feel safe. Literally, the same week that I came here and I was speaking, one of the 3rd grade students came up to me and they told me that they didn't want to come back to school because they were being bullied and they did not feel safe. Literally everything that I said here, a student repeated back to me. She did not hear anything from the board meeting. The kids that saw me on the news, they let me know. Celebrity status, right? But yes, our building is not safe. I just wanted to throw some data out there that came up in one of the meetings that we had at one of our school meetings. Our administration and support staff are swamped all day long. They have to run around and help put out fires. This is true because at the beginning of the year, we had, I think, 386 students enrolled. And based on referral data, 13% of them were high flyers. And yes, we had a decent amount of those students go to Rise Academy or other alternative placements. But if you still look at those numbers, 13% of 386 students is about 50.18 children. And I think we had 11 to my knowledge, that were sent to Rise. That leaves close to 40 who still need those extra supports. And even with 2 administrators who are able to be there every day, a family core representative, a parent advocate, and a long-term substitute, who is our building substitute, walking through the halls, that is still 7 to 8 students per adult. That is insane. And it's not just 3rd and 4th grade, it's kindergarten, 1st and 2nd too. Some things that have happened in our building since the last time I was here. We had some students make it into Forest Hill. And again, that's not necessarily the fault of any of our staff. We are short-staffed. We need more people. It is not safe with the amount of children we have with high behavioral needs and the people who are there to watch them. We can't be everywhere all at once. We have a kindergartner who had a one-on-one. That one-on-one quit, partially because they were being assaulted by the kindergartner. I have seen marks on teachers' arms from being scratched by the student. Just on Friday, this student bit their teacher twice. And because the one-on-one was not there, we couldn't follow the IEP, and they're still in our building right now. Our art teacher, hopefully she doesn't mind me saying this, at one point she told me that she felt like she was a bad teacher, but she's split now, and she says that there's a completely different culture and environment at Franklin where she is working. She feels like she can teach, and she doesn't feel like a bad teacher. But when she comes back to our school, it is very difficult. There are bathrooms all across our building. If you've ever been in Maud Sanders, you'll know that the boys' and girls' bathrooms are not right next to each other. We've had instances of vandalism. I did not see what was written on the bathroom stalls, but we got an email from our custodian this morning saying that he spent a long time taking whatever vulgarity was on the stall off. It doesn't help that, again, we don't have enough people to help supervise to make sure that the bathrooms are not being vandalized and to make sure that all of our students get to a bathroom safely. Personally, I feel like a lot of times I'm not able to teach. I spend the majority of my prep time, which should be used for lesson planning and things of that nature, to make seating charts. I have to make new seating charts for certain classes every day because, again, the behaviors in there are too much. It's too much for one person, especially when there's between 23 and 25 kids in there. We have seen students demonstrating highly inappropriate behaviors, like sexual behaviors, and I don't know about other teachers, but I'm not 100% sure how to handle that. That's something that should probably be addressed by somebody who's more qualified for those positions or that type of situation, like maybe a school social worker. Oh, I'll stop there. I have more to say, but I'll stop. Thanks.
Jennifer Swan, did I pronounce your name?
No, but it's tricky. S as in Sam, U, A, U. It's 3 vowels. And then it's pronounced SWA, like S-W-A. Okay, so my name is Jennifer Swa. I'm speaking about, I'd like to address the proposal that was brought up last Wednesday by the Fine Arts Committee on the 31st of August, that band and orchestra be dissolved at Peoria High and Manual High, and the students sent to Richwoods via a selection process or an audition. As we move along through the years, the numbers in band and orchestra are declining. And for those of you who are new on the board, the biggest reason for this is that band and orchestra are non-weighted classes. They do not count towards a student's GPA, which is totally wrong and a shame because the students, especially at Richwoods, I saw this time and time again. All 3 of my own children graduated from Richwoods High School when this decision was made. Many parents pulled their children out of band and orchestra so that they could take weighted classes that would count towards their GPA and look good on college applications. So if you simply made the band and orchestra classes weighted, it would help improve enrollment in these programs. All right, so moving along. All right, some of the logistics that need to be considered about combining the band and orchestra. When I came home from work today at 5:30, Richwoods band was still practicing, and I could hear them from my house because we live close to Richwoods. All right, so how are the students that have been bused in or moved from Manual or Central supposed to get home after band practice? Many of the students, they ride the city bus, but that late at night, the city bus runs on the hour, and transfers are done down at the bus station, which is not safe. Okay, so if there happens to be practice before school called Early Bird, or if this, how are the students going to get there? Because if they have to be on the field by 6:30 in the morning, the buses are not running yet. Ooh, is that my time? Okay. All right, so 9 years ago, my son had a friend in band at Richwoods who lived by Tree Wind Middle School. So early bird practices for marching band happened at 6:30 in the morning. The early bird practices and the late night or evening practices were hard for Keon's family for drop-offs and pickups. Okay, many nights Keon spent the night at our house so that he could arrive at early bird practice on time, or so that his grandparents and parents didn't have to worry about coming out the 25-minute drive one way, because they worked, his grandfather worked third shift and his mother worked second shift. So how many kind people are going to do what we did for Keon? How many people are going to step forward and make sure that these kids can get home or get to practice? Okay, so if the argument is also, well, the interest is waning, the other thing that is happening is that my son taught for Calvin Coolidge and Sterling Middle School for the past 2 years. Dr. Sandra Wilson has implemented a decision for the underperforming schools that all students would participate in band and orchestra under the guise of exposing them to these performing arts. Let me explain what happens. So my son, who has a degree in band and orchestra, music education, became the prep position. He handled 18 to 27 students in a class. All 5th grade of Calvin Coolidge he saw, no 6th grade, all of 7th grade, all of 8th grade, over the course of 9 weeks at a time. He did not have enough band instruments for all of the children. I think Calvin Coolidge, he even had boom whackers, these plastic tubes. That's the only thing he had enough of. Ooh, again? Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, President Ross. I'm happy Ms. War came to just share your experience, your family's experience with us. It's nice that band and orchestra is getting attention. What our district, our board has done at our last board meeting is hired a part-time fine arts coordinator to help study, revitalize our instrumentals, specifically orchestra and band, which we all agree needs to be revisited. And so what's going on, and you're hearing a lot of noise, but actually what's happening right now is that the directors of these areas, orchestra and band, are meeting with will meet with Mr. Render, who's the coordinator. He was just hired to develop and develop a plan around sort of transforming and revitalizing those programs, especially at the high schools, the 3 high schools, primarily, and really Emmanuel and Peoria High as well. All of them will meet and they will design a plan and then share that with us. So that's very exciting. So that's the news. Not what you've referenced or what you've heard, but that, which is needed, coming up, and the experts in the field are meeting with Mr. Render and all of the directors, the orchestra teachers, and the band teachers. Those who are interested will sit down and put some ideas together, and many of them have some really cool ideas already. So that's what's going on. You're welcome. And we have received some extra funds. So I know last year we've ordered instruments for all of the middle schools because that's the idea. The idea is to really build a strong pipeline for the high school. So we've just, in actuality, the arts have really taken a big hit in our district when funds were low. So this is a time that we're really investing a lot into that area, and I'm very excited about that. And so any school that's in need of instrument, there's a fine arts committee, which is made up of union representation and administration working together to ensure that schools have what they need. And we were not able to do that for a long time. So definitely this is happening right now. And if your son has ideas and he's still with us, I would love to hear from him. If you can send a note to me, especially since he's been in the field and he has some recommendation and ideas, would love to hear those as well. Because we're really serious about bolstering and ensuring that we have a robust program for our children because they're very, very talented. So I really appreciate you coming and sharing that experience with us. And then the other thing around Miss Caitlin Hill, what I would recommend is, I know you, Miss Arnold, you and Miss Culberson, Miss Wiggers, and the three of you just happened to be here this evening, recognizing the two sisters have done a lot. And so I would encourage you to continue to work with your team. I had a challenge in school as well. I took over manual in 2008, and I always said to my team, the solutions are among us. You know, we have to meet together as a team and discuss solutions, look at the reality, what's going on, and let's work together, and we did that very well. So I know you've gotten a lot of support, and I know you've taken on a tough assignment, and the three of you are doing a fantastic job. Keep plugging away, keep working with the teachers and all the staff, collaboratively. We know our kids aren't perfect, right? And so some of the things we've heard, I'm like, I've heard that before and I've experienced it. Kids writing notes in the bathroom and doing different things. I remember my first year at Whittier, I had heels on and then I started taking those heels off. I had a kid ran from the playground to Bradley University and I'm chasing the kid and his kindergarten. And I said, wait, where are you going? Then I figured he couldn't speak English, so I started speaking Spanish, and that didn't help either. So, just keep working collaboratively with the team, okay? But we're supporting you in whatever you need. We've had this conversation week after week after week. If you said you needed an extra sub, you got it. You got, 11 one-on-ones. But we realize it's a tough group, and we'll get over it. But sometimes it seems like it's worse than it is, and because you have to kind of turn the corner, and you are turning the corner. And I appreciate the three of you. Thank you. Yeah, and actually, board member, after that last board meeting in McConnell, board member McConnell went to visit. You're welcome to me. Yes. President Ross, I remember. I forgot you visited.
I went to Maud Sanders. I was there for about 3.5, 4 hours, and the Mrs. Arnold allowed me the freedom to just roam. I went to the special need area, and of course, this was probably between about 9 and 11, and things were moving. And one thing I discovered that small people need a lot of attention and a lot of touching. I'm not used to that because my kids are in their 20s, but it was a friendly reminder that they like the hands-on. And I did get I did speak to a couple of teachers. They were all open. And I found it to be pleasant, and also that I can see things working. And so sometimes you just have to stay the course, and day by day, and you'll start seeing changes. And it's always better and clearer in retrospect. It's almost like a pregnancy. When you're going through it, towards the end, it gets really hard. And then until you get to hold your baby, and you forget about all of the pain and the hard stuff. So just hang in there and just know that you are making a difference, and you just got to stay the course.
Thank you for visiting, Mrs. McConnell.
Thank you. And I would just encourage you to encourage your teachers to come to you and talk to you about things that they have concerns about. Thank you. Okay. That was the last person to speak, so. I would like a motion to approve the minutes of the July 25th, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved in second. Are there any questions or discussion? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Mrs. Costick? Mr. Claus?
Aye.
Mrs. McConnell?
Aye.
Mr. Murphy?
Aye.
Dr. Ranking? Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
President Ross?
Aye,
We have 6 ayes, motion carries.
thank you. The superintendent's update.
Well, I think the arts,
The art piece that you did.
yes, ma'am. Just giving an update on that. Is that okay, board? Yeah. Thank you.
Proposed expenditures over $2,500. Any questions for Mr. Willis? Seeing none. Report of request under the Freedom of Information Act and the status of such request.
Thank you, President Ross. Since our board meeting on August 22nd, we received 6 new requests. There were also seven pending requests on August 22nd. Of those, 1 request remain open, so there are 3 requests currently open. So we have received 42 requests for this calendar year at a cost of $2,100. Thank you.
Thank you. We are now at the consent agenda. Vice President, would you read that?
Thank you, President Ross. Item number 1, gifts to school district, year-to-date, $65,841.35. Donation valued at $1,800 for percussion instrument by Jake Eastman for Peoria High. Donation valued at $1,125 for supplies by Terrence Cotton for Lincoln K-8. Number 2, payments of bills. Number 3, payment for travel. Number 4, human resource report. Number 5, purchase of 2 used buses. Number 6, purchase of school buses. Number 7, independent contractor agreement with Dr. Denise Ross Haynes, redesign of Manual High School to a career pathways program. Number 8, vision insurance rate. Number 9, dental insurance rates. Number 10, life insurance rates. Number 11, adult meal prices. And number 12, Leaf Health and Elixir contract extensions. And that is all of our consent agenda items.
So moved.
Mrs. Costick?
Aye.
Mr. Claus?
Aye.
Mrs. McConnell?
Aye.
Mr. Murphy?
Aye.
Dr. Ranking? Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
President Ross? President Ross? We have 6 ayes, motion carries.
Can we just get some more information? Say much.
Yep, there is, and I'll be happy to. Is that okay, President Ross? So actually, that's part of our strategic plan around reimagining our work, and so primarily, the idea is to, I don't know if you've been to Manual and if you've seen the manufacturing program that they have, where kids are learning welding and hands-on. It's very hands-on, and they do that in the morning, and then they work at Caterpillar in the afternoon. So we kind of serve as a pipeline for them as well. And so the idea is to explore some other pathways like that that's needed in our region, and and implement those. Really expand the pathways at Manual. Maybe one or two. There's a committee. We already have a committee and we've had one meeting, and that information should be in your packet as well. But it's something similar to Woodruff, but expanding that further, where kids can also get that hands-on experience and work in the field as well. So they're exposed to real-life learning experience. And that's going to take someone who will work with employers who would be willing to also take them on as employees and hire them, just like we have Caterpillar. They've hired 16 of those students in the manufacturing program, and we've been doing that with CAD for a good number of years, about 4 or 5 years, very, very successful. And the children are paid well, and they come to school, there are no discipline problems. So it's just reimagining our work and doing it differently, experimenting on a small scale with Manual. And then the nice thing is, it could be kids can opt in as well. And so Manual's attendance is what, 600 and, I don't know, 629 or something like that. I'm thinking with that design around pathways, we will get a lot of interest of young people who are interested in just a different educational journey along when compared to the traditional one. So it's just opening our district and providing more options for students and getting them to find the right fit. When we think about our vision, it's reimagining education and by igniting students' passion. So that's what that's all about. I'm really excited about it. I think it will be exciting for teachers as well, and for the administrators, and for the children.
Follow-up question. So it will be more than just manufacturing. It's more than clerical. There's got to be some technology elements.
The
in
committee
there.
will decide
And
the
code.
pathways based on, yes.
Okay.
So I don't know what it is.
Okay.
So there's a committee that will made up of business folks, that's teachers, administrators, and so and volunteers, and this person would really facilitate the conversation, and they would agree upon, like, manufacturing was a big need in our
Right,
area,
right.
and they're hiring, and the children get paid very well.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes after they can either, they take them on full-time. We had one student who went to Bradley University, so there are different paths for them. They can get straight into career, they can move on to college as well.
Oh, wow.
But the nice thing is it's real-life, hands-on experience while they're also being incentivized monetarily.
One thing, and just to clarify, just because I've gotten the questions too, Manual will still operate as a traditional high school as well. This will be
Yes.
in addition to the traditional learning style through this another program as well. So,
Correct.
yep.
So it's kind of like a school within a school sort of idea.
Yep.
They'll still have a football team, basketball team, college career piece. It's just, revitalizing and, again, trying some different things, which fits in perfectly with our vision, reimagining our work so that we can reach all the children, each and every one of them.
She's done this with other school districts.
Other school districts?
Dr. Ross Haynes she's done this with other school districts before.
She's with a school district right now. She has an eclectic experience, a background. The good thing is she'll be working very closely with that committee, and we have some individuals from our community who have been working on this with me for years now, so about for 3 or 4 years now, so at least planning it, and I'll be very involved as well. So it's just the person to set up the meetings, meet with me and visit employers, keep it going. We have to, you have a list of all of the responsibilities in front of you. Let's see. Work with the there's work with the curriculum, working with the principal. there's a lot of communication that will need to take place, develop and implement public awareness campaign, expand partnerships with Caterpillar, OSF, Unity Point, ICC, Bradley, Eureka College, daycare centers, hotel, hospitality, union trades, secure specific sites and internships. So you have the list. I think I've given the list to you. So it's those types of things that will, the community work. But they'll get a lot of guidance and they'll work with myself and the volunteers who are serving on that committee. There are about 25 people already. Kamasu Dresser is also part of it. Different organizations, different groups, different companies. So she will not be on her own, if that helps. Mr. Claus.
Yes, just a brief question. Okay, what is the implementation date? When do you anticipate for this program to be
Up and running?
running? Yes.
Yeah, so this year's planning, 22-23 is planning, and the idea is to have maybe another pathway up and running the following year, 23-24.
Now, are any of the programs that you're looking at Manual, are they mimicking any of the programs that are currently at Woodruff? Or are they going to be totally different?
It would be similar to what's happening with the manufacturing program at Manual.
Manufacturing?
So they're literally going there full-time. Well, they would go to school half-time, and then they would get the work experience the other half of the time. Whereas Woodruff is a little different.
One of the things that I would like to see with this, when we're talking about vocational programs, is preparing young people to be able to work in corporate America, in offices and things like that. That would be a tremendous program to get people involved in again, much like the, I guess what used to be the co-op program, maybe?
Correct. That's exactly the idea. And the need is great.
Absolutely.
I mean, we need childcare workers. We need clerical. We talked about in executive session, Mr. Wilson brought it up, custodial workers. We need teachers. The need is great. So it's really just priming that pipeline and building that pipeline and pushing them out earlier into the workforce, which is what they're asking for as well.
It's been moved and second. Any other questions? He made the motion. Oh, but is there not a motion?
I don't recall here.
Oh, I'm sorry. We need a motion and a second on that one.
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Costick?
Aye.
Mr. Claus?
Aye.
Mrs. McConnell?
Aye.
Mr. Murphy?
Aye.
Dr. Ranking? Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
President Ross? 6 ayes, the motion carries.
Item 13, expulsion, with the expulsion to be held in abeyance. The proposed action is that the Board of Education approve the expulsion with the expulsion held in abeyance listed on the report dated September 12, 2022 be approved as presented.
Second.
Item 14, revocation. Vote, I'm sorry.
An executive session, one of these, oh, okay, it's already,
15.
oh, okay.
15.
Okay. Okay, that's it. Okay. No questions.
Mrs. Costick?
Aye.
Mr. Claus?
Aye.
Mrs. McConnell?
Aye.
Mr. Murphy?
Aye.
Dr. Ranking? Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
President Ross? 6 ayes, motion carries.
Item 15, expulsion. That the Board of Education approve expulsion listed on the report dated September 12, 2022, be approved as presented.
Second.
I guess we're fine. I trust the process. Yeah. So we're good. Yeah.
Mrs. Costick?
Aye.
Mr. Claus?
Aye.
Mrs. McConnell?
Aye.
Mr. Murphy?
Aye.
Dr. Ranking? Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
President Ross? 6 ayes, motion carries.
Thank you. Presentation. By board members.
I'd like to make one. October 6th, Digham College Fair coming up at Bradley Renaissance Center. So we have Peoria Public School, high schools participating, as well as Quest High School and Limestone as well. Just want to encourage any parents out there, or seniors or juniors that are watching this, to register. Information can be found on the website. I hope we got it up on the website somewhere. Digham College Fair somewhere. Okay. So yeah, just wanted to throw that out there. That's October 6th. We're gonna have breakout panel sessions. We have over 35 colleges coming to Peoria as well. Definitely gonna be a great event for our seniors and juniors.
Yeah, I'm just gonna expand briefly on the Parent University kickoff coming up on the 22nd. Whatever is, we want to put together a planning. Initially, when the university first came to Peoria, you can hear me, first came to Peoria, it was a little bit differently designed than it is now. So what we want to do is plan for this year and then, kick it off the coming year. So what we want to do is to have individuals from each school come to the September 22nd meeting, and that will start our planning for the year, looking at what families want to learn about, how they want to participate in their kids' education. And we're going to meet, ICC has given us the spot, and we're going to have a breakfast and meals for those individuals that are invited. So each school will be inviting people, but anyone else is welcome to come as well. So.
And President Ross, you were able to work out. ICC has a lot of opportunities for our families, whether it's getting certifications at no cost. They've just gotten several grants, so they're really excited with working with President Ross, Parent University, and the rest of the team on this idea to share some opportunities for our families. So maybe you can share the date and time again?
Yeah, the date is September 22nd, and I'm working with Dr. Bell on did we set a time yet? We're 5 to 8 p.m., right, 5 to 8 p.m. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to ask for that site, because, we can move forward from there with parents and what parents what parents' needs are as well.
And lots of opportunities could be at no cost to our families in terms of furthering their education, whether it's degreed or certification. Sheila Quirk-Bailey was very, very excited about sharing what ICC has to offer.
Good, that's good. So, reports from board committees. I don't think any committees have met yet, but some of you have set a time already.
September 15th? You want to announce it?
So the policy committee, we will meet on Thursday, September 15th at 5:30.
Okay, thank you. Is that here in the?
Yes.
Ms. Costick, did you have one?
Yes, the Buildings and Grounds Committee will have our first meeting on September the 22nd at 2:00 p.m. The committee, we are seeking a parent that is interested in joining the committee, the Building and Grounds Committee. If you are interested, please email either myself or Mr. Mike Murphy of your interest. Thank you.
Okay. So before we adjourn, I would like to have Ms. Franklin introduce herself again and talk a little bit about what your classification is and what you plan to do in the future. Are you planning to become a board member after you graduate? Would you just talk a little bit about what you do?
Yeah, I'm Zariah Franklin again. I go to Richwoods High School. When I go to college, I want to go to Howard University to study psychology and business. Yeah, I mean, I guess if the opportunity came, I'd be a board member, but that's a ways away.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
serving. And your school personnel and all the kids know that you're the person to contact in case they want to bring
Yep.
something to the board, right?
Yep.
Okay, great. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
You can ask her, how was that?
I think it was a very, yeah, it was a pretty productive conversation. I think we brought up a bunch of talking points, and I think everyone was contributing pretty well.
Okay, wonderful.
I was just gonna say, Ms. Franklin, Howard is one of the colleges that'll be at the college fair,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Plugging it.
Yeah.
You can ask her to make sure it's being announced.
Oh, we went there. Were you there when we went and
Yes.
presented? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was there.
All right. That's a close on a good note. May I have a motion to adjourn? So moved. All right, thank you.